What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Chicken Bone Alley. I guess this is post 4th of July edition. What is going on, guys? I am David. Everybody else, introduce yourself. Driving down the road, we have...
Maven.
And as always...
The Legend of Cell drives legend cars. Woohoo!
There you go. There you go. And as always, we have the man... the myth, the legend, I guess. Racing Jason with the dirt. And he gonna hang out with us all day here today. What's up, people?
What's going on with you, Dave?
Oh, just trying to beat the heat, you know.
Yeah. What's going on with you, Kale?
Oh, just driving back home from Florida.
I hear you, bud. Where you at now? How far you got to go?
About an hour 20.
Oh, okay. All right. 2-4.
Kale texted me this morning. Said he was coming through South Carolina and the weather was great. And I was sitting there, I'm like, it's already hot. The weather's not great, Kale. It's hot.
Loving it, bud.
See, Dave, did you tell me he's from Texas and he loves this stuff, bro?
Yeah, something's wrong with him.
He's like Mahalia. He's like Mahalia grass because he just loves the heat, man. That's what just pops up more.
Exactly.
I'm going to call you Mahalia, Kale.
That's it.
Highway grass.
Speaking of Texas, we got to send out our thoughts and prayers with all the victims of the and families affected by all the flooding, the flash floods and stuff down there. All the girls in the church camp and all that down there. That was unimaginable for sure. So definitely sending up all our prayers for them.
Amen.
For sure.
I shed me a tear last night, buddy. I promise you.
I'm gonna tell you, that was a rough situation there. That was bad.
God, maybe cry now.
Bad. So anyway, want to throw it out here real quick. We will have a guest on here in about 12 minutes or so, Mr. Jerry Smith. He'll be on here again talking about the Charles Hutto Memorial Race this weekend coming up at Dillon Motor Speedway. We had no racing around here this weekend. I was looking, as far as my general area, I'm sitting there like, well, I knew Florence and Dillon wasn't racing, so then I'm looking, I'm like, I don't think Lakeview's racing, nope. I don't think Sumter's racing, nope. Fayetteville canceled. So I was like, well, I guess I'm sitting at home, not going to a racetrack. Yes, sir.
Cherokee raced Thursday night, right?
They did.
Yeah.
Did you go?
You know what time? You know what time the first main event rolled onto the racetrack?
I'm on Thursday night, knowing people didn't have to work on Friday. Probably about 12.
Very good. 12:30.
12:30.
Buddy man texted me, and he lives 30 minutes away from the racetrack. Lives in Clover.
Yeah.
He texted me, and the Blue Ridge race, he was helping somebody out. I'm not gonna say who. Guess what time he got home, Dave? Was 30 minutes away from the racetrack. Guess what time he got home?
I'm gonna guess he got home at about 4:00.
Oh, close. 3:18 pulled into his yard.
That don't surprise.
3:18 in the morning, bro.
Why? Did they fight rain? I mean, no. If they weren't fighting rain, they have no good reason.
Well, they did have a fireworks show, I was told.
Okay. 20, 30-minute fireworks, and yet, no, that's not a good enough reason. Did they just schedule, how many classes did they have?
Oh, good question. 5, I think? 5.
Yeah. In my opinion, that's too much because you got to start late. I mean, as a perfect Saturday show, in my opinion. But you got to start, if it's Thursday night, people are coming from work. So you got to start a little later. So in my opinion, you can't have no more than 3 or 4 classes. That's like this weekend. This weekend coming up, at Florence Motor Speedway. I'm pulling a double this weekend as our plan. We're racing Friday and Saturday. We're racing Friday night at Florence Motor Speedway, Saturday at Dillon Motor Speedway. But Florence, knowing Dillon was racing, well, actually they moved this race back to coincide with Dylan and work with them. There's going to be some kind of bonus on the line they're talking about for, running both races and stuff like that. I'm not sure exactly right now. But either way, Friday night they're running 2 classes. That's it. Running Chargers and late models. That's all they're running. Now, the late model race is 101 lap race because it's the Sun Fun 101 that they used to run at Myrtle Beach. They're moving it to Florence. And adding Chargers in there, and we're running 35 laps. So,
Good luck.
Thank you. But I mean, that's what you got to do if you're going to run during the week. I mean, I ain't saying it's got to be 2 classes, but you can't run 5 classes and have heats for everything and all that. I don't know. What you think?
What was it, Dave? The first week of the Hell Tour, the second week of the Hell Tour, man, they were having 4 classes, and the main event was start after 11 o'clock.
Yeah, that makes no sense to me.
Come on, bro. On a Wednesday night. Come on, bro. Come on, you gotta have respect for the fans, man. That's your bread and butter. You got to cater to the fans, man.
Exactly, and you can't put them out. Yeah, we know people weren't working. Most people weren't working on the 4th, but they had a lot of things planned. I mean, spending time with family, grilling out, cooking hot dogs, hamburgers, whatever they wanted to do. Had stuff to do.
And not being at a racetrack at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Nah, you can't keep people out there like that.
Hello. I wish I knew what time the last race got over with. That's what I love to know. I have no idea. Don't have a clue. Don't know. Don't know what time it ended.
Matt Grantham said, "What's up, guys? What's up, Matt?"
What's up, Matt?
Yeah. I mean, that was like one night, and I've said this many times on here. One of the last races I went to Dublin and watched. We left at 2 o'clock in the morning, and they were running hot laps because it had rained.
Okay, rain. Okay,
it rained. It rained.
Right.
But when it's that late, there ain't no sense in making people sit there.
I remember one night, no rain. And matter of fact, there's several nights. Let me just back up. Several nights, no rain. I-20 Speedway, 2 o'clock in the morning, you still have 2 more races to run. That was just a weekly. That's just how it was back then at I-20. That's how it was.
Right. Oh, yeah. Well, dude, we raced. This goes back a ways, but I remember racing go-karts. And I remember one time at Lake City, Hog Eye Speedway. We got there one morning at 6 o'clock, and now this is 20, 30 minutes down the road from where we lived at the time. We got there one morning at 6 o'clock to park and everything. We pulled back in our driveway the next morning at 6 o'clock.
No way.
We were racing mains at 3 o'clock in the morning.
No way.
Yeah.
No freaking way. I'm sorry.
It was bad.
No way. There's no freaking way. That's impossible. There should be a law. That's a hostage situation right there. That is a hostage situation.
I remember I fell asleep in the trailer. We had a little propane, heater in the trailer because it was
cold back then too.
It was cold. It was I think it was a New Year's race that we ran down there. And I literally fell asleep leaning up against the wall with my legs wrapped around the tank of the heater.
No, that should be a felony.
It should be.
That should be a felony right there, bro.
I don't know what's up with people wanting to do stuff like that. It's insane to me.
I'll never understand it. I will never ever understand it.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Dave, I don't mind staying late at a racetrack, for track prep. That's worth it to me. If I get a better racetrack to make a better main event, that's fine. But when you got 5, 6 classes and just, no way, bro.
Yeah, I mean, track prep, but there's a limit. There's a limit still. I mean, I don't care what it is. I mean, you got to, like you said, you got to be respectful of people's time a little more than that. I mean, you can't be holding people there that late.
No, unless you're holding for ransom.
Yeah. Nah, that's crazy. How's y'all's time go up in Ohio, Cale?
Me and Levi got to travel so much that we usually don't get home till 3 or 4 in the morning every week.
Yeah, but that's because of travel. I mean,
yeah. How far's travel?
anywhere between 45 minutes is our closest track. And then our furthest track's 3 hours and something. But when you don't get over till 1 o'clock, load up, then book it back home, you're 4:30 in the morning.
I will say, we have done very good around here, around this area. I will give it to. I haven't been into dirt tracks just because I've been racing. I will give it to Florence Motor Speedway and Dillon Motor Speedway. I don't think there has been a week this season, that we have gotten out of the track past 10:30 was our latest, maybe. Yeah. So.
Man, you can still go to doggone. You can still go to doggone Olive Garden or something to eat. That's early. That's early.
That's perfect timing to me. And speaking of Dillon Motor Speedway, coming up this weekend, we have the Charles Hutto Memorial Race over there, and Mr. Jerry Smith's on to talk about it a little bit. Mr. Jerry, how's it going today, man?
Man, it's going good, other than being super hot here in famously hot Columbia, South Carolina.
Well, Jason ain't too far from me. He says it's hot over there too.
Yeah, he's just down the road from me. He's not very far away. But I think it was like 97 today with a heat index like 105. Thank the good Lord I work in an air conditioned office and I'm not outside.
I'm gonna tell you, it's rough. It's been rough, but I guess it takes these hot months to get back to the cool ones, I reckon.
That is correct. Yes, sir.
Bring them on. Bring them on.
Well,
I'm more like some man. You know, I'm ready to get back to. I could do spring and fall year round. You know, they could drop out winter and summer, and I'd be just as happy as I could be.
All right. I'm gonna ask you this question before we get into talking about this weekend, anything like that. I'm gonna ask you this question. We've mentioned this on this show before. What would you think about racing essentially all winter long? Because, you know, we don't have terrible winters around here. I mean, obviously take off a couple weeks, Christmas, whatever. And we race up to Memorial Day, and we take June, July, and August off. And then we start back maybe Labor Day weekend.
I'm all for it. And, you know, Ron takes off the month of August at Dillon Motor Speedway. So, you know, that does give us a little bit of break. You know, David, you're like us, you're at Florence, you know, still during the month of August. But, man, I would have no problem with that, man. You know, let's get these races in while it's cool, you know, in both the spring, winter, spring, on into, you know, take a break, like you say, maybe Memorial Day, maybe a special Labor Day race or something like that. And, you know, let's hit it again, you know, like maybe the 1st of October and run up to Thanksgiving, end the season on Thanksgiving weekend.
That's right. I love
it. Absolutely. You know, David, you're just like me, man. You know, or both of you guys. You love racing. You know, you're going to be at the racetrack if it's 5 degrees or 105 degrees. You're going to be there at the racetrack no matter what.
You're exactly right. We're going to be there regardless. Now, which just do we prefer to be there in? But we're going to be there. And I'm going to tell you, Jerry takes the brunt of it because I've seen him walk up to the spotter stand in the middle of the day before, and he sits up there until all the races are over. And some of them spotter stands, I'm going to tell you, are right in the sun. I'm like, y'all need to cover these things.
You know, you mentioned that. I actually mentioned that to Steve earlier this year. I said, well, what would it take for us to get a little canopy over the spotter stand up there? Because, you know, David, like you mentioned, some nights I spot every single class at the racetrack. So I'm up there from the first green flag to the last checkered flag. You know, I try not to be up there, you know, for practice and stuff up there if I don't need to be. But I'll be honest, sometimes for practice, I'm inside the box with Steve having conversations while I'm spotting during practice.
I don't blame you one bit. Don't blame you one bit.
Nope.
That's something else. But like we said, we got this weekend coming up. We got some racing going on at Florence Motor Speedway on Saturday night, and that's going to be just the late models and the Chargers going on over there. But then on Friday night, I'm sorry. But then on Saturday night, we will be at Dillon Motor Speedway for the Charles Hutto Memorial Race, and that is always a special weekend for you. You know, since this has started up. So tell us a little bit about it.
Well, Charlie Hutto, I started working with him around 2006 after I retired from the Navy. Been a family friend before, way before then. It's just he was looking for some help to come help work on his race car. So I started working with him. 2008, we won the track championship at the now defunct Concord Motorsports Park. Love that race. A lot of history there. My family, my brother was the flagman there for about 18 years. My parents run the VIPs at that racetrack. So I've been knowing Charlie, even before I retired from the military, going there on the weekends when I could, come to see family. Come to see family back then meant being at the racetrack on Saturday night, which if I wasn't there, I was going to be at Langley Speedway or Southampton Speedway. So I was going to be at a racetrack on Saturday night anyway. So it didn't make a whole lot of difference. Then we started running the Frank Kimball Street Stock Series at Rockingham, Bristol, which we loved. It was just a handful of races every year. You go, you have a good time. You get to run on some tracks that some of your heroes and superstars that have been on in the past. But when Frank decided he was going to step back and not do the Frank Kimball Street Stock Series no more, Ron Barfield picked up the series. So we started running on a regular basis every Saturday night at Dillon Motor Speedway. Ran there from, I think it was like 2009 on until Charlie passed away. Run there, had a lot of success. And somebody had asked me today, how many races Charlie won at Dillon Motor Speedway. And I'll be totally honest, I don't know how many he won, but I can tell you the last race that he won was a memorial race for a gentleman named John Shack, who had raced there at Dillon Motor Speedway, finished in the top 3, had a heart attack while they were doing tech, and passed away at Dillon Motor Speedway.
Yep.
So the next year we had a memorial race for John, and that was the last race that Charlie won. So I just kind of found it was fitting after Charlie had passed away in 2021 that we needed to have a memorial race for Charlie. And it's been a great success. We've had racers from the Midwest, Northeast, Florida, up and down the Eastern Coast. I mean, just fantastic turnout for these races. And the first race was run by Bobby Thomaston. And, everybody knows that, he was hard to beat in the street stocks. Bobby didn't run a whole lot of races that year, but he showed up for the Hutto race and won it. The next year, Gary Ledbetter was the winner of the race. And then last year, Jeff Sparks won. So, that's 3 dominant street stock names right there, But you've had other guys. You've had Ricky Locklear Jr., you've had Jeff Melton, Mike Cooper. Some of these guys who run the street stock series, they're there, we're going to have, racers coming from Michigan this year. I've been in conversation with Mr. Rowe. He's coming down to run at Dillon Motor Speedway for us. We had Pete Close come up from Florida a couple of years ago to run with us. It's just, you never know how many cars are going to show up. But a little bit about Charles Hutto that people don't know. Charles Hutto was a racer, but he sponsored a lot of races. He worked for Town and Country Ford, and you've seen Town and Country Ford. They sponsor a lot of races with the Kimmel Series. They sponsor a lot of races at Dillon Motor Speedway. But the thing that people didn't see about Charlie was the money that he give people. He would hear that somebody say, well, I can't do this because I need to get another transmission. If Charlie didn't have a transmission to loan you, Charlie would say, okay, here's the money. Go buy you a transmission. I want to see you at the racetrack. I want to beat you on the racetrack. You pay me back when you can. If it's $50 out of each purse that you get from the racetrack until you get it paid off, that's fine. I want to see you at the racetrack. That's the kind of thing that Charlie did. He sponsored cars. Just people would come to him and say, "Hey, look, I'm not going to be at the racetrack this year, man. I'm gonna miss seeing you." And Charlie would say, "Why not?" "Well, we just can't afford to run it." He said, "Okay, well, what if I buy you tires every week, and you cover the rest of the bill? Can you come race this season with us?" And of course, majority of the people would say yes. You cover, that's your big expense, at the racetrack for the street stocks was your tires. So Charlie would cover that all season long. Nobody would know that. He didn't want Town and Country on the car. He didn't want Charles Hutto's name on the car nowhere. That was just a private deal he made with different people. And I could tell you so many people that I know that happened with, because like I say, I worked with him from 2006 on until he passed away. Now, the last year before he passed away, he'd stepped back from racing because he had his grandboys Lawson and Colton was racing motocross. So that's where his heart was at then. He was at the racetrack supporting them two grand boys he had there, and they both of them are fantastic motocross racers. We got to figure out how to put them in something on four wheels because I think both of them would be great race car drivers. But that was their love, was the motocross, so that's where Charlie was at. And that's where he lost his life at. That's where he had a heart attack at, was that motocross track with his grandboys. It was a total shock for me. I was at Florence Motor Speedway. A lot of times I'm at the racetrack. I don't check my phone. Check it. Maybe once or twice throughout the evening, and then most time I'm checking up on stuff when I get ready to leave. Well, I checked my phone when I was getting ready to leave that night. My phone was blowing up. All kinds of people calling me and sending me texts. Is it true? Is it true? And I was like, man, I don't know. I mean, I hadn't heard nothing. But I reached out to the family and was able to get a hold of them and confirm that it happened, but still it wasn't my place to tell everybody that it was true. That was the family's deal to let everybody know. Now there's a few close personal friends that I did confirm that I'd got information from the family and that's what the deal was. But let me tell you, his family, his son Barron, his daughter Brooke, and her husband Justin, them grandbabies, Miss Sandy, they treated us, like we were part of their family. I mean, we spent nights at their house. Coming up, I live an hour and a half away from them. But if they were having some kind of party, it was like, okay, you're not going to drive back home if you're going to come hang out with us. And there'd be adult beverages involved. It was, okay, you need to spend the night up here, you don't need to be back on the road coming home. So they were just like family to us, and I still, to this day, I stay in contact with Brooke and Miss Sandy. Matter of fact, I talked to Miss Sandy a little bit this afternoon and was talked a little bit about being on the show, so she knew what was going on. I've never tried to blindside the family on anything I've done, with this race at Charles Hutto Memorial. This is the 4th annual. The first year I went out and we solicited a lot of money. We sold laps. Bobby Thomaston won that race. And I'm going to tell you, he won $3,750 to win a street stock race. That was just unheard of, And every year been able to, raise a little bit of money to put towards the purse or a pole position or something of that nature to try to help these racers out, try to get them to come to the racetrack. And Ron Barfield has been fantastic with that. He's put in extra money. If I come to him and say, okay, I'm at $29.25. If I had $75 more, I'd make $3,000. Ron's like, I got it. Whatever it takes, let's make this happen. So, I got to thank Ron for allowing me to do this at Dillon Motor Speedway. He's just been a tremendous asset. The street stock racing, trying to keep it alive, and now Boo Carlisle's got his Stars series going, and this is going to be a combination event. It's going to be a Stars and a Mass Mid-Atlantic street stock event combination. So I'm hoping we have a big turnout of cars. I think we'll have a big turnout in crowd. It's not going to be 105 degrees in Dillon Saturday right now.
Thank God.
It looks like it's going to be about 89 to 90 degrees in Dillon. But the big thing is the humidity is going to be way down. That's going to help us a whole lot. I really appreciate, David, what you guys do for racing and allowing me to come on here and talk a little bit about it. I guess you can see because I haven't shut up. Charles, big passion. He was my best friend. When I was talking to Sandy this afternoon, we were talking about some of the times we've had and racetracks we went to, and I told her, I said, one of the biggest things I missed about losing my buddy was he would call Sandy on his way home from work. I would call my wife Samantha on the way home from work. And we knew it was going to be about a 5-minute conversation because, hey, honey, I'm on the way home, blah, blah, blah. This happened. I'll talk to you when I get home. And then he was about 30 minutes from home. I was about 30 minutes from home. So that other 20 minutes, 25 minutes, that was me and him talking racing every single day on the way home from work. He got off at the same time I did. He went to work at the same time I did. So I really, really miss those conversations. I think back on a regular basis, different conversations that we've had over the years, talk about racing. And like I say, we went to Bristol and, Charlie, the kind of guy he was, he rented a condo for us to stay in at Bristol while we was running at Bristol Motor Speedway. So, just that's the kind of person Charles was. We love racing with him. he moved on from Town and Country Ford last couple of years before he passed away, and was there at Capital Automotive Group, Capital Jeep, Dodge, Chrysler of Indian Trail. And he had some great people working for him. You know, Eric Holmberg, who was his crew chief for a couple years, 3-4 years, I think. And, you know, you got Charlie Pierce, who he worked with at Town and Country, Keith Starnes, who worked with him at Town and Country, and went basically everywhere Charlie went to. If he went to a different dealership to help train or get a dealership back up to where they need to be, he was there. You know, Keith is my right-hand man. I talked to Charlie Pierce and Keith Starnes on a regular basis now. If somebody's looking for a car, I don't care if they're, you know, in Charlotte, North Carolina, Spartanburg, South Carolina, I'm going to send them that way because I know they're going to get a good deal. And he's nothing against the dealerships we have here in the Columbia area. But, you know, when you send a person to a car dealership, you say, they're going to take care of you. They're going to treat you like family when they get up there. That means a whole lot. And, you know, we talked about this when we bought our last car from Keith Starnes. And since about 2006, we bought 13 cars personally from Charlie, and we sold over another 20, sending people to his dealerships. Oh, wow. So, you know, because he took good care of us, you know. I mean, we bought cars from Charlie Hutto and never even test drove them, you know. Okay, Charlie, you have my information. I have the paperwork. I ain't got but a little bit of time. I get there, sign the paperwork out the door, 30 minutes, I'm back on the road home. Because he wasn't going to sell me nothing that he wouldn't put one of his own family members in. And that made us feel good. You know, it's like he thought of us as a family member. And, you know, still to this day, as family. You know, like I said, I talk to all of them, you know, on a pretty regular basis. Don't talk to Barron as much as I do the rest of them. But we text message every once in a while, and we on Facebook message and everything. But David, I just want this thing to be a success, you know, to live on in the memory. And next year we're going to add some different avenues in it. We're going to include more people in the memorial side of the race. And, you know, we mentioned John Shack, who passed away, L.S. Thomas, who was, you know, a very good friend of Charles Hutto. He sponsored L.S.'s son, Brian the Dude Thomas's car, you know, so there's a lot of connection there. So we want to include LS in it next year. Jake Locklear's grandpa had a heart attack at the racetrack this year and passed away. We want to include him in it, you know. Junior Craven, you know, big time racer in the PD area. He passed away this year. You know, we want to add Junior's name in there. So we're gonna change it up a little bit next year and try to do some different things and include more people. And hopefully when we do that, it'll help bring some more cars in here.
For sure. Okay, that's why we have a podcast. We got to talk, man. Nah, for sure. That is that's awesome, man. That is that's really cool, and I've always enjoyed you know, everything that's put on at Dillon Motor Speedway each year when this takes place, because it's always I obviously don't race street stock, so I'm up there watching it a lot of times and watching everything that's going on after the race, all the trophy presentation, and it's always a big to-do. And everybody that races in that class, if they raced against Charles or not, they knew who he was, for one. Two, everybody had a lot of respect for him, and so that's it's really cool to see, and really you know, when you're at the track and everybody's got a sticker on their car. We've had a sticker on our car every year, and so it's pretty awesome to see that.
And I'll have some stickers at the racetrack for anybody that needs some more stickers. I'll have some at the racetrack this coming Saturday. But, you know, I want to recognize some of the drivers that's been there every year. Jeff Melton, you know, Jeff Melton and Charles was very good friends. Jeff Melton has been to every one of these races. Ricky Locklear Jr., Robert Filipiak, Glenn Mappus, Junior Torch. Let's see, who else? Ricky Locklear Sr. You know, there's some of the guys that I recognize off the top of my head that it's been there every year for this race here, you know. I would love to see Bobby Thomaston get back in a car. I know he sold it. But maybe he can talk his way back in that car.
That car still.
Taylor will probably be there. That's the old Bobby Thomaston car. I think Jimmy will be there.
That car is still super fast too.
It is. It really is. So, you know, You know, the more cars we get here, I think Cody the Marmals will probably be there. Been this Stars Points race, and him and Jeff Melton's, battling for the championship there. So I think we'll see Cody there at the racetrack, and hopefully we'll see some of the other guys show up there. My goal would be 20 cars. I'd love to have 20 cars. The first year we had like 32. But if we can get 20 cars, I'm as happy as I can be with that. So, again, I appreciate everything you guys do to help promote racing. Are you racing this weekend?
My plan is to race Friday and Saturday night. That is the plan.
You go, boy, man. You'll be wide open there.
Well, now, regardless, I will be there. Now, we'll see how everything goes after Friday night, but that is the plan.
Well, I do want to talk a little bit about it, and you may have already been planning on it. Also, another name I want to throw out there is I want to throw out Albie's name. I know they're probably most likely going to be there. Adam Rowe, coming from Michigan. This will be the third year in a row Adams drove down from Michigan for this race. Now, I think he kind of includes it in a vacation somewhere at the same time. Hey, whatever he's got to do to be at our racetrack. So I'm looking forward to Adam coming out. Kyle Lynch is another one that I think will be at the racetrack this weekend. So, it's very feasible that we have 20 race cars at the track. But you mentioned Florence on Friday night. They're running Chargers and late models on Friday night. That's going to be a great event. Come practice at Dillon Motor Speedway during the day up to 5 o'clock. I think it's 1 to 5 Saturday night or Friday daytime, and then head on over to Florence. Steve and Brian and Jacqueline and that group over there, they do such a great job putting on the races over there. 2 classes, and it's going to be fantastic racing. It always is there at Florence Motor Speedway. So we want to make sure we give them a little plug, and I'm sure you're probably going to talk about them a little bit more during your show, but, we want to see them out there, them guys there at the racetrack. So, racing is still alive, David. A lot of people will tell you because the car counts is down, but racing is still alive, especially around us. So we want to promote racing as much as can. I used to do my own podcast, and it just got where it was just so much with the job that I used to have, trying to keep me busy and everything. And now I let you guys do it. I follow you guys on your social media stuff and everything, let y'all do the podcast. And, I'm getting ready to retire for good.
What? No.
I'll bring back the podcast at that time. I got about 1.5 years and I can retire.
There you go.
So I may bring back the podcast when I get to that point. And then maybe not. I may be gone somewhere every Saturday night instead of being. Who knows? I got a couple grandkids now. One that was just born in May, one that's going to be born in September. So, never know. The bad thing about it is, and the good thing about it is, one is in Pensacola, Florida, right by Five Flag Speedway, less than 5 minutes. So I can see me being there, son. The other one lives on Island, right by Riverhead Speedway. He's about 15 minutes from Riverhead Speedway.
New York.
That racetrack one time. Now, I've been to Five Flags several times, but I've only been to Riverhead one time, so I'd love to take in some more races there at Riverhead. So even though I'm retired, don't mean I won't be at the racetrack. And I'm sure on the weekends that I'm home, I will be around Florence and Dillon. I love spotting. I did the driving thing, the working on the car thing, and now I enjoy the spotting thing. I try to do it as much as I can. I never turn nobody down unless I already have a car in that class. If I ain't got a car in that class, somebody comes up, and I don't care whether you first place car or 15th place race car. I want to give you the best job I can do at spotting. Try to use my 50-something years of racing. Try to use my experience spotting for them on the racetrack. And I, and I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, but I've seen drivers that I have helped where they learned something, they picked up on something that they were able to continue to do, and I may go to their normal spotter and say, hey, look, this is something I had him do or her do, and this made a difference. Try to keep them going in that direction. So I love it. My wife sometimes is ready for me to retire from racing altogether, but she knows it's a passion. I've been in my family my whole life. My dads, my uncles, my brothers, my cousins, we've all raced, so all the way back, I think, I jumped on a go-kart in like 1980. maybe even before then. I can't remember, but I remember winning races in 1980.
There you go.
So it's just, it's been my life. I've always been around and been in the military, been stationed, from Rhode Island to Chicago, to Philadelphia, to Virginia, South Carolina. I've been able to take in so many different racetracks. I'm up to 45 racetracks right now.
Wow.
Went to some schools out in California, picked up a track in Nevada while I was in school out there. I went to 2 different tracks out there in California near San Diego while I was out there. So I've been really fortunate about seeing races at so many different racetracks. But I'd love to get that 50 number, David. That would just be a milestone right there.
There you go. Well, I got to tell y'all something. This goes to Kel and Jason more than you probably, but while you're on here, Jerry has never spotted for me, but I do know that I have had spotters that I have had to relay messages to Jerry while I'm in the car, and he still talks to me after that, so it's okay.
It is, brother. We're out to do a job. I had a conversation with a driver recently at the racetrack. Something that had happened, and he kind of felt that it was my driver's fault, and I voiced it from my side, what I saw. We have a great view up there on that spotter's tower. And once I explained it to him and actually showed him a video from a different angle than from him inside the race car, he's like, well, let's call this the 50-50 blame on it, Okay, I can handle that, and that's not all throwing the blame back on me, and my driver, and I'm not going to mention neither driver.
Nope, no.
It was a simple conversation. It wasn't heated or, arguing or nothing like that. It was a man-to-man conversation. Both teams are going to take 50% responsibility, shook hands, and walked away. And as long as I can do that, like David, every time I see you at the racetrack, I speak at you. No matter if he was mad at me from somewhere along the way, I'm going to speak to you. We're going to shake hands if I get a chance to shake hands. A lot of times I'm seeing you in passing, and it's like, hey, David, how's that? Keep on rolling, because I am busy at the racetrack.
Yep.
The only actual involvement I have as far as working on the cars now, I still do the tires for the 73 late model and the 63 super truck. I do tires for them. Other than that, that's because we're very short-handed on crew members. We don't have this 8-9 people on the crew. It's just a handful of us. Claude and Dylan and Al Frimmel. We call him Yankee Al because he's from Connecticut.
Yep.
And then our drivers. That's our crew. Whether we got the truck or the late model. And guess what? This weekend we're gonna have both of them at the racetrack. So we're really gonna be thin at the racetrack. So if anybody wants to come over and give us a hand, man, hit us up. 73 late model, 63 super truck. We won't turn you away, man. We'll let you find something to do. If it's nothing but hand me wrenches, So
there you go. Well, Mr. Jerry, I sure appreciate you coming on here with us tonight, buddy. And like I said, everybody, be sure if you can head out to Dillon Motor Speedway this Saturday for the Charles Hutto Memorial Street Stock Race, a co-sanctioned event between the Star Super Stock Tour and the Mass Street Stock Series. So hopefully, like you said, I look forward to seeing hopefully maybe 20 cars or so out there. That'd be awesome. So, but anyway, Mr. Jerry, I sure appreciate you, man, and this has been great.
Well, David, I thank you for allowing me to voice my comments here about what we're going to do here this weekend. And anytime you need somebody just to talk racing or you need a different opinion of something that might have happened at the racetrack, you got my contact information. Hit me up, man. We'll talk racing. I talk racing all night long, man, if somebody would let me. But again, allow me to do that tonight, and hopefully see you at the racetrack this weekend.
All right, buddy. We sure appreciate you. So we'll see you there, man.
Yes, sir.
All right. Have a good one. All right, everybody. Mr. Jerry Smith, as I call him, the super spotter out there, spotting for everybody, hitting up the Charles Hutto Memorial Race this weekend at Dillon Motor Speedway, as he has for many years here. So head over there if you can. But we're going to hit a couple ads here really quick. So we will be right back.
Are you ready to unleash the true potential of your ride? Tired of feeling held back? It's time to experience the Pro Fabrication difference. At Pro Fabrication, we don't just build headers and exhausts. We engineer performance. Crafted with precision from high-grade materials, our systems are designed for one thing: maximum power. Feel the instant increase in horsepower and torque. Hear the deep, aggressive rumble that turns heads. Our expertly designed headers optimize exhaust flow, while our performance exhaust systems deliver that signature sound that you crave. But it's not just about power and sound. Profabrication means durability you can trust. Built to withstand the toughest conditions, our headers and exhaust are an investment in long-lasting performance. Whether you're hitting the track, conquering the trails, or just cruising the streets, Profabrication gives you the edge. Experience smoother acceleration, improved field efficiency, and that unmistakable feeling of pure driving exhilaration. Don't settle for less. Upgrade to Profabrication headers and exhaust today. Profabrication headers and exhaust. Quality that wins. Chicken Bone Alley is brought to you by SRI Performance. They are your one-stop shop for all things racing. Do you need performance parts? Look no further. They offer a wide range of high-performance parts for various types of racing, including stock car racing, dirt racing, and more. SRI Performance also has the most knowledgeable employees in the industry. If you're looking for that hard-to-find part, they've got it. And if you're wondering how to make it work on your car, they know it. Check them out online at www.sriperformance.com. And when you do, don't forget to use the promo code CBONE10. That's C as in chicken, BONE10, and get 10% off at checkout. Stock Car Steel and Aluminum is a full-line steel service center stocking thousands of sizes, shapes, grades, and types of metals and plastic. If you need it, they have it. And if not, they work fast to find what you need and get it to you. Stock Car Steel and Aluminum also has the ability to cut orders to your specifications as requested. Their dedicated team not only brings many years of experience to the table, but they are always ready and willing to lend a hand with anything you may need. Stock Car Steel and Aluminum. Your material needs are covered here. Tired of leaving performance on the table? Ready to dominate the track? For decades, Earl Ramey Racing Engines has been the secret weapon of champions. We don't just build engines. We craft precision, engineered powerhouses designed for one thing: victory. From meticulous machining to expert assembly, every Earl Ramey engine is built with uncompromising quality and a passion for speed. We understand the demands of racing, and we deliver the reliability and raw power you need to cross the finish line first. Whether you're tearing up the asphalt or conquering the dirt, Earl Ramey Racing Engines provides the competitive edge you've been searching for. Don't just race, conquer. Contact Earl Ramey Racing Engines today and let us build your winning machine.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Also, want to give a shout out to our good friend Skylar Whitfield. Go check him out, www.skylarwhitfield.live. You can see him tonight out there at the OD Lounge in North Myrtle Beach. Tomorrow, the 8th, at Brunswick Plantation there in Calabash, North Carolina. On the 10th, he will be at Bubba's Love Shack there in Murrells Inlet, South Carolina. The 11th, Old Irish Pub in Myrtle Beach. On the 12th, you can catch Skylar at the Tiki Tavern there in Southport, North Carolina. And on the 13th, he'll be 49th Street Grill, Bar, and Patio in Oak Island, North Carolina. So y'all go check out our buddy Skylar Whitfield. Go check him out, www.skylarwhitfield.live. Check him out, all his dates. Find him on Apple Music, iTunes, or whatever it is now. I don't even know all your Apple stuff. But check him out on Spotify, all that good stuff. So go check our buddy out. Excuse me there. All right, we are back. Guys, I got to say real quick before we get into any other action from this past weekend. I know I didn't get to watch everything. I tried to watch all that I could, but I do know, especially on that dirt side, there were fireworks in the air and on the track. Some low-hanging fruit there.
Pretty much.
Man, and I ain't even talking about just fighting. Man, and when you look on and you just see a highlight from, cars flipping coming out of four and just big old pileups, And then we got a little brawl to talk about. Man, it was an exciting weekend to say the least.
It was hot.
It was hot. It was hot.
It was hot.
Kel, did you get to see any of that?
I tried to watch Atomic when I was down there at Disney. I just watched hot laps and I think maybe the first heat. That's all I saw at Atomic.
Yeah.
That's all I saw all weekend besides highlight.
Mickey and Goofy wouldn't come watch some racing with you?
Nah.
Well, gosh, Mickey.
Gosh.
Gosh, Mickey.
Oh, boy.
Mickey.
Tell us about it there, Jason.
Well, that scary incident. Let's start with the scary incident at Sonoy with the 604 car. That telephone pole saved everybody. That could have been bad. I mean, that could have been tragic.
I heard there was some, what was it, broke ribs, broke leg, some bruised up and maybe punctured lung. I know they said lungs were in rough shape. And man, but to not be talking about, somebody's funeral coming up this week after a wreck like that is amazing. And that is why everybody, and I will repeat it, y'all see these signs on the fence says do not stand on the fence. That is why. Yes, sir.
Why? I hate tier parking. I'll never go to tier parking. Smoke used to love tier parking. Dave, I'm not gonna put myself in a position where I just get blasted with sand and dust and marbles and I'm not doing it. I can't enjoy the race. So you will not see me do it in tier parking. And after a Friday night, Saturday night, I would suggest nobody else do any tier parking.
I'm telling you, that was a scary situation for sure. For sure.
And that's why you never turn back to a racetrack, especially when the race car is on the racetrack.
That is exactly right. Don't turn your back. Don't stand on the fence. I mean, I get everybody wants to be close and see what's going on, but do not stand on a fence. I get scared sometimes seeing them guys in the staging lane sometimes when some of them, especially got them that come out on turn 4, and they're I tell you one that was like that. Right up there by you, Kel, where we went. Well, God,
Portsmouth
was like that because I stood down there, and I'm gonna tell you what, you got beat upside the head with some with all kind of junk, but it was.
I'm good.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm gonna tell you them people don't realize how fast. I mean, it looks fast, but when all of a sudden a car is up there with you, those cars are going very fast. I don't care if you're talking about anything from a legend car or a Bandolero on up to a late model. They are going fast, and if they hit you, it will hurt. I promise.
Yeah, there you go. That's it.
So, anyway, what else you got?
Well, how about the brouhaha we had between Michael Page and Corey Hitchcock?
I messaged Corey today, tried to get him to come on here.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I couldn't ever get him. I don't know if he was just done talking about it or he didn't check his mail. He's hard at work, maybe. I don't know.
Well, Dave, I got a question for you and Kel both. I didn't know Kel was going to be here. I'm glad you're on here, Kel. I got a question for y'all. Is this what we need in dirt late model racing, on track incidents like that, or just fights in general? Because in my opinion, yes, it's kind of good for the sport to get that emotional, but I'm looking at it outside the box, like sprint car guys, NASCAR guys. Well, them rednecks down there, them redneck. That's the only thing that I get a black eye on is I get that opinion. What do y'all think?
Do we need fights? I'm gonna come right out with it. Do we need fights? No, we don't need fights. But I don't understand the whole these rednecks out there fighting, blah blah. Look at baseball, hockey, football. It's a big deal when all of a sudden the bench is clear at a baseball game.
Oh yeah.
They love it. I mean,
with
it's,
the bullpen. Yeah.
it's the highlight of the week. You know, when that happens. Football games, we've all seen football. That happens almost every football game. You know, somebody jawing with somebody and slapping somebody upside the head. Yeah, they got helmets on and stuff.
Why would you do that?
I don't know. But why is
Hit somebody in the head and get a helmet on. Oh, that's smart. Go ahead.
I don't know. But what I don't understand is why is it always different for racing? Yeah, like I said, no, we don't need them. But why is it different for racing? I don't know. Kale, what you think?
I think that it's going to sell more tickets next time they come out to race against each other.
For sure.
See, I like that.
I don't like them tearing up their equipment though. I do not like that.
No.
Yeah. If you're going to fight somebody, go fight them. Don't tear up their equipment and yours.
I agree.
I forgot what racetrack it is, but is that Chili Bowl? What they say, you know,
on the front stretch where everybody
on
gets
the front stretch.
Yeah.
Get out there on the front, at least on the track. Don't go away from the track. Now, if you're fighting in the pits, we don't need fighting in the pits. I mean, I get it, and but we don't need fighting in the pits. Let's go out there for everybody to see it. I don't know. I think a lot of times, like I just said, no, we don't need the fighting, but, and I've been on both sides of this. When you are the guy who works on your stuff all week long and puts it back together and knows how and got to pay those bills to put it back together, there comes a point when all of a sudden you reach your limit. And I get it. You know, I get it. So, I don't know. I ain't saying we need it, but at the same time, I don't have a problem with emotion coming out. And I just like it. Hey, I liked it like what Corey Hedgecock does. You know, if he's going to do it, he's going to come off the top rope like Macho Man Randy Savage was dropping the elbow from up there. And that was, he went full sin, full commit on that.
All we needed was the breaking of the glass.
That's
Dun. I mean, that's all we need.
I am telling you. And I like what he said. He was like, I can go 1-on-1 any day. I can't go 1-on-10.
Should he be fined? Should he be suspended? Should both drivers be? What should it? Let me ask you this: if you're going to penalize somebody, who would you penalize?
I don't know.
Michael Page.
What happened? What originally happened? Has anybody seen what originally happened to start it?
It started in the heat race.
I haven't seen. Oh, I thought they said it on the feature that Corey slid Michael Page into the wall.
At the end. That was the end of it. Yes.
That was during the heat race. Corey kind of threw a net. I think it was the heat race you're talking about, Kale. Corey took a questionable slider like Nick did Friday night, and I think Page didn't like that too much. So I think Michael Page took it upon himself. You know, Michael Page, he don't care either. Michael Page does not give a crap.
No, he don't.
Yeah, he don't. He's been like that his whole life. And I think he just took offense to that slider in the heat race and decided, okay. Kale, didn't Corey? I think Corey got into in the feature too. Yeah. So I think Michael Page had enough.
He said Corey basically come out. Something happened. Corey said whatever happened, I guess, in the heat. Mm-hmm. Now then, Corey put a slide on him in the feature. I think it was like last lap or something like that, or whatever. The lap before that.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's why Michael got mad at the end and did what he did. I don't know. I see coming up there because that's my thing. Your car was still rolling. It didn't kill the car. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Why are you going to... I get coming up there, putting a wheel in somebody's door, hitting them in the bumper, whatever. I get it. Yeah. Let's do it. Whatever. What the devil would we do all that he did for?
I mean, you hooked the guy. The guy was Corey's car was laying on top of Michael Page's nose. What are you doing? Then you gonna get crew.
Stuff for no reason.
Yeah, exactly. Kale, now that's how you get crew guys involved. Like you said, David won't get to start one thing all week. That's how you get crew guys involved.
It just said,
now you got
it
the
just
crew.
said
Now
on
you got the
Facebook
driver.
that
Now you got the crew guys. Now you got 50 people. Hit him!
I don't know if he's still watching, but Willie, it says Willie Milliken was watching. Willie, what you think? What you think about the situation between Michael Page there and Corey Hitchcock? Whose side would you say you were? You know, and I've been with Willie out there and seen some of the stuff that happened. So I don't know.
I got some news from Willie.
You got some news from Willie? Can we share it?
Breaking news. I got breaking news the other night.
You got breaking news?
Yeah, I got breaking news. I can text it to you.
Okay, text it to me.
Yeah, Willie, what you think about the whole deal, bro? Let's say me and you got into it, Willie. Let's say I threw a dirty siler on you, Willie, and then you gonna wreck me after the race, and we get into it. Should anybody get fined? Should anybody be suspended?
I don't know. I don't think there's.
My only thing, Dave, is this: if somebody does not get fined, suspended, or whatever, are you saying, "Oh, we're gonna let this go on"? NASCAR 5-6 years ago, let the boys have at it. Then what's gonna happen?
Let me tell you what happens.
A lot more tore up stuff.
Let me tell you what happens after a fight, though. Let me tell you what happens after a fight. When they finally fight it out. They can jaw about it for weeks. They can talk about it. They can get on Facebook and talk about it. When the fight, now apparently that didn't happen between them, but when the fight finally happens the next week, everybody's good.
Yeah,
it's like we got it out of our system.
By the way, I'm just saying this is not a beer. It's Pepsi. This is not a. This is Pepsi. But I know exactly what you're saying. And after the race, did you tell me about a month ago, Dave? The guys get on track and fighting stuff, and by an hour later, they're drinking a beer, laughing about it.
Yeah, and that's how it is. It's just a heat of the moment thing most of the time. I don't know. I mean, there's probably other times that it's a little more than that. Go ahead, Kel.
No, I was just saying I don't like it to go back to the pits because then people start grabbing wrenches and pry bars and crap like that. Somebody gets hurt, somebody's going to jail, hospital, whatever.
Well, I don't. Yeah, there's that. If they want to beat each other upside the head, whatever, I don't care. But my problem is when you get in the pits, then there's a lot of innocent bystanders and kids, and they all want to get up in it and see what's going on. And then who knows what can happen. And so, hey, you want to fight on the track, fight all you want, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Don't do it at Dillon Motor Speedway because Bill Flynn will tase you.
Oh wow, no.
He's done it a couple times out there.
No, wow. I'll never. Do you remember the incident at Port Royal a couple weeks ago with I got his name written down right here. If I can read my own writing. Taylor Farling. Remember he went around the track, and the other guy, Dylan Stake.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh, he is suspended through 2025 through 2026. Hello.
And that was with who? That was what series?
Rush. I think it was Rush.
Rush. Okay. I don't know. I didn't see where that warranted it personally. I mean, I could have seen a 1 or 2 race. I didn't see a rest of the year personally.
Yes.
I don't know.
And next year.
Oh, through 2026. I thought you said 2025.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah, that was a little too much. What you think, Kel? That's too much to me.
That's a little much for that. But off that, did you see where Davenport at the Lucas race at Muskegum got?
Actually, that's what I had written first.
Oh, you missed that one.
So what do y'all think about the droop rule? Seriously, honestly, what do you think about the droop rule?
I think it was something that was getting to where it was needed, because we all know, we all seen it. There were some cars that go in the corner and literally look like they were about to flip.
Yeah.
And there was some cars that I think on some tracks, I think caught some stuff and actually flipped from it because they were hiked that left rear up so high. But I'm one. Now this is how I am. It doesn't matter if we like the rule. Doesn't matter. The rule's the same for everybody. That's just the way I am about. I don't care if it's in my class or whatever class. The rule is the same for everybody. The rule is what it is. If the rule is broken, unfortunately, the rule is broken, in my opinion. What you think?
The Davenport interview, I mean, he didn't seem upset. It's just something that happened, you know.
Yeah, he said a bolt backed out.
Backed out, you know, that chain.
Yeah. I mean, it happens. It's parts and pieces. It happens. But that's the thing, is how many times has it happened to Davenport? That's the first time I remember.
Yeah, me too.
So it ain't like he's out there just cheating every week, you know.
I'm not saying he's cheating. I'm just saying, you know, something happened. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Well, the track was so choppy anyway. I'm surprised more parts didn't break. You know what I mean?
For sure.
But here's my thing, Dave. With the droop rule, okay, safety, I get it. But we still have cars flip. Look at Elizabeth.
Oh, yeah.
So what's the answer? Is there an answer? Do we do away with the droop rule? Or what?
The droop rule you could easily fix the droop rule.
How could you fix the droop rule?
Easily fix the droop rule.
Well, if you fix the droop rule, wouldn't you have to fix something else? Like tires or nose or body or something? Wouldn't it be a give and take?
Quit allowing such a long shock on the left rear.
I like that too. Yeah, I like that
You
too.
just put a limit on the shot length. You put a limit on shot length. It ain't going to travel but so far.
Oh, that's an easy fix. I didn't even think about that. That is such an easy fix. That'll solve everything.
That's what I'm saying.
That'll solve the whole rear end.
And if they could figure out how to make it rotate a little more, good for you. But you only getting this amount of shot to do it with.
You think about that, bro. That's how you fix it right there. I did not even think about that. Hell, I didn't even think about that.
I didn't think about it either.
God, what an easy fix.
What about?
Wow.
Then it's not an easy fix because I know what's going to happen when they do it. They're going to say they're going to break shocks and stuff because it hikes up on it so hard. Okay, that's when you use your limiter so it don't kill your shock. I mean, it's on you at that point.
Yeah. as you as a driver, shock specialist, crew guy, whatever.
Yep.
To do that. I like that. Put it more back in the drivers or the crew guys' hands. I like that.
Yep. Just give them.
I like that.
Give them let them use the whole playing field. Just give them a smaller playing field.
There you go. There you go. Give them a playbook, but take some pages out of it.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
Dave, that's such an easy. Oh my God! Wait till Rupert to let them all right. Oh my God! What a great fix.
They'll give you a million reasons why it won't work, but you know it can. It's just nobody wants to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's all about the sprint, ain't about the marathon. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. What else you got there, sir?
Did y'all see where? Did you see where Brandon Shepherd got a new car?
Yes. Oh, Rocket's back.
You think so? You think Rocket?
How about Huddy? Did anybody have that on the radar? Huddy winning Atomic? Anybody have that?
Dude, I'm gonna tell you, I'm never gonna say. Yeah, I'm never gonna say that Huddy's out of the argument. I'm never gonna say. I'm not gonna say he's my pick to win all the time, but I'm never gonna say Huddy's out of the argument because there's two things. One, Huddy's a good driver. Two, Huddy's got a good team with a dang good crew chief. So I'm never saying Huddy's out of the argument.
Who you got? Who you got? You got Jason Durham or you got Anthony Burroughs? Who you got?
That's a tough one there. That is a tough one.
I figured Overton would run better with Burroughs than he is.
Yeah, but I think
All I can think of, Kale, he's still not used to the Bilstein shock. He's been running Penske all his life. That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah.
What else could it be?
I think at this point,
Their test car testing too much, I think.
trust me, I think
While they're racing.
I promise you, at this point of the season, they have took that car out there and put a set of Penske's on it testing one time to see if he liked it. And then if they could figure out what he liked in those Penske's, they would try to copy it to a Bilstein. I promise you that has happened already. It's not that. I think there's just something. I'm like, Kale, a house car stinks to run sometimes because you are the guinea pig for everybody. And
Yep.
And it's not like he's running terrible. I mean, he's just not winning as. I mean, he's not running great. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, but it's not.
He's not setting the world on fire, Dave.
No, he's not setting the world on fire. Kale lost some signal right now. I figured he would going through there. So if he
he's not. He's nowhere. Dave, let's be honest about it. I love Overton to death. I love Ryder. I love the whole crew. But they're not even on the. They're not even hitting the bullseye. They're not hitting the dartboard. They're not hitting the board right now.
No, but it's one of them things that you ask. It's like, okay, they're not looking good on the track, but what does Longhorn have up their sleeve? Because we all know the Longhorn car right now is still super good. And yes, there has been updates to the Longhorn, but nothing has. There's been no major change that we've known of in the Longhorn chassis in the past handful of years. So are they testing something new? Are they trying to develop something new this year? We don't know. And that is the question with the house cars you got to ask. And they could have told him, look, we know we might not go out there and run, set the world on fire a lot. We're going to make this car work. So, I don't know. Like I said, it's tough to judge a house car.
I couldn't do it. The pressure. Oh God, I couldn't do it.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but if they're telling you, look, we're going to pay you good money to come do this, just stick with us, and then next year we'll have something. Hopefully, we're going to be running up front every week. What you going to do? I'm going to sit right there and
I need
give
to
them
text
the
you.
best. Do what?
I need to text you. I need
Text.
remind me. Text me after the show. And,
Okay.
yeah, I got some. Yeah. Yeah. Dave, I asked your opinion on this. Okay, so Southern All Stars open the motors up. Now the cal counts are getting ridiculous now. 37 the other night. Dave, Southern Thunder had 12. What is going on, man?
Oof.
What is going on? And there's nobody running the series full time right now. What is going on, Dave?
I don't know. You think it's just a rather, new series lull or something? I don't know.
Don't either. I mean, Kelly Carlton is one of the most respected people that I ever met in my life. He is well respected in every aspect of the sport.
You digging a little too far, I think. And now Jason has left me. Where did he go? Everybody's leaving tonight. Off of here. He'll be right back. While he's away there for a second. Want to go ahead and give a big old shout out to our friends over at Dixie Made right here in Florence, South Carolina. Dixie Made, guys, if you are in the area coming to join in for the Sun Fun 101 here in Florence Motor Speedway Friday night, or you're going to Dillon on Saturday, stop by Dixie Made right here in Florence, South Carolina, right by the flea market here. They're your one stop for everything. It gets you covered from head to toe. Some of the best brands, anything obviously from hats. It's one of them right there. It's one of my favorite ones they had. It actually says Dixie Made on it. But anywhere from hats, the shoes, I don't care, anything in between. So stop by Dixie Made right here in Florence, South Carolina. Also, Fresh Chef up in the Race City area of North Carolina, as we always say, is all over Conover, Concord. Let's see. I'm trying to think some other places. Mooresville, everywhere. All over the Race City area. Statesville, multiple locations. Y'all head over to Fresh Chef. Get you some of the best food, drinks you can have. Daily food and drink specials. So y'all go check out Fresh Chef. Also, MPM Marketing. www.marketwithmpm.com. Get on track today to get on track in your marketing game on this racing game that we're in. Head over to MPM Marketing. You need somebody who knows what they're doing, and Tanya's one of the best in the business. So head over to MPM Marketing, and she will set you up for a bright future for sure. Jason's back.
My phone died. I thought the dog thing was plugged in, but I didn't have the other part plugged in. Hello.
You got to plug both ends in.
Hello. Yeah, I'm good now. We're good now. So get back to Southern Thunder now. What's going on, bro?
I don't know, man. I'm. You were saying, Kelly Carlson's one of the most well-respected people in the. I'm gonna tell you.
Uh-oh.
And I'm not saying he's not. I know some drivers. I'm not even gonna throw names out there that literally put it out that they would no longer run in any any series that he was affiliated with.
That was talking almost 10 years ago with VMS. Come on, we're not over that yet, bro.
We're not over that. No. I'm talking since then. I'm talking even since then. There's been some.
Well, you know what I'm talking about.
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Well, since then?
Yeah. There's been some since then that said that they wouldn't run with him. I don't know, and I'm not because I've never experienced running with him, so I have no clue. I'm just saying, throwing out there what I've seen and heard. But regardless, all right, let's break it down. Where was the race? Where was it at? Where was Southern Thunder race at?
75, Tennessee, some I-75 or
in Tennessee.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's look at it. Okay. Hunt in the front was at Sonoya.
Mm-hmm.
Who else was racing?
Southern All-Stars.
Southern All-Stars. Where were they at?
Let me go here. Okay. The Hunt the front was a Sonoya. Southern All-Stars were Mountain View Speedway in Tennessee, which announced today that they were closing. How about that?
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes.
So I-75 and Mountain View are how far away from each other? Do we know? A roundabout?
No, I do not. No, I do not know that.
I don't know that. What was the pay difference?
Okay, I can look that up right now, too. Southern Thunder was at, oh, my gosh, the Big Bad Taz. And it was $7,500, Dave. And Southern All-Stars are paid only $5,000.
Huh.
And I want to say that the Mountain View Raceway in Tennessee is like on the border of like Kentucky.
That's what I say. It's got to be in the mountains too, so they can't be too far from each other.
That's Dave. This really blew my mind.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't understand that.
I don't either.
I think I would go for the more money, other than just. I know there are some people that don't like running the big bad Taz that much, just for the simple fact of, wide open, hanging. I don't know. I don't know.
I can't figure it out. We're talking Tazewell. Right in the heart of doggone
Now I wonder
Jimmy O was damn McDowell country. We're talking about right there in dead center of it all.
Yeah. Now,
I don't know, man. It's just heartbreaking. I hate to see it.
We have to look it up later, but I wonder how the pay breakdown was. They paid more to win, but I wonder how the pay breakdown was.
I do not know how much it was to start. I have no idea. Could not tell you. Mm-mm.
That sometimes is the deterrence. Whenever see, it's $7,500 to win. All right, well, second place gets $750. They're like, what? No.
Yeah. Well, $500 a start compared to $750, $800 start. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I don't know. What else we got?
How about Bab? And Billy Moyer winning on the Hill Tour the same year?
That's awesome. That is awesome.
That is great, ain't it?
I like it.
Did you hear Turbo's interview last night? I should have posted it up. I didn't record it. Did you hear Turbo's Victory Lane speech last night?
I don't. We lost him again. It must didn't charge too much. He's waiting on the charge some more. I'm trying to remember if I did hear Turbo's Victory Lane speech. I want to say I did. I heard something from Turbo. I don't know. What y'all want to talk about out there? Y'all let me know. Everybody that's on here talking. While we're waiting on Jason to come back, he gets a couple percentage points on that thing there. We'll talk about some NASCAR real quick. On the streets of Chicago, it was dominated by SVG, Shane Van Gisbergen. I don't know. I wouldn't. It was all right racing, I guess, if you like street racing. Obviously SVG's got him covered there as long as he makes it. Don't wreck, don't get wrecked, all that good stuff. He's got that track figured out. It's more in his wheelhouse. So that's good for him for sure. So I don't know. Bubba and Alex Bowman kind of got into it, and it was actually kind of funny because they're going back and forth. They're beating, bamming. Bubba ends up spinning out. Well, after the race, Alex is kind of, man, I don't know what was going on. He kind of put me in the wall, blah, 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 and he's going at it from the perspective, I guess, that Bubba was mad at him. And looking at it, I would have thought he was. Bubba gets out of the car. He's like, man, that was fun racing. We were crossing over back and forth, and we just kind of missed time to cross over, and I spun, and no big deal. It was a lot of fun racing. Hate that it ended like that, which is very unusual coming from Bubba, as we've seen in the past. Maybe fatherhood has changed him. I don't know. So that was whatever. Joey Logano and Ross Chastain had a difference of opinion also. Apparently that charger don't work.
No, it's going in the trash, actually. And I used to love his multi-port, too. I guess it finally died out, bro. All right, going in the trash. Goodbye.
Good old Amazon special.
No, actually, Temu.
Those are good.
So, yeah, get what you pay for, right?
I don't know. I've got some tools at work that I've got from Temu, and I've been using them for a year.
What? Tools?
I'm telling tools.
Wow.
Dude, I am not. I am as much as I now. Don't get me wrong. I have quite a few Snap-on. I have quite a few Mac. I have some Matco stuff, tools wise. But I am not a tool snob by no means. I will, if there is something that I know I'm not going to use like a everyday use thing, I'm not buying the big expensive one. I'm not doing it. I will order a tool off Amazon or Temu in a heartbeat. That's like I found this. It was going around on TikTok actually, and I ended up finding it on Temu as a wire brake finder.
A what?
A wire brake finder. And what you do is you hook this little thing, it's a little box. You hook it to power, like your battery, and then you hook it to that wire. Then you got a separate, non-connected piece, and it's got a little wand on it. And you hold the button, and you run it down. It makes a diddle-diddle-diddle-diddle-diddle. Then when you get where the wire's broken,
Wow. Get out of here, man.
and it works great.
So if you have an ignition wire going on with a race car or something, it'll tell you where it's at, where it's
Yeah,
got a
you
little...
can run right down your wire and find exactly where it's broke at.
Wow, how about that, bro? I'd never even heard of that. I didn't know they made that.
I didn't either. And then I found it, and I think I got it for like $10 on Temu, and it works great.
Wow, how about that, bro?
Love it.
You know, I got a doggone good stud finder. It's a mirror in my bathroom.
Yeah.
And all I gotta do is look in it. It works pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. What else we got going on here, Dave? What do you think about? Do we like? I know a lot of drivers don't. But as you as a driver, would you like to have a 2-day show at one track, or would you want to go race this track one night and this track the second night? Because the reason I said that, Dave, because the World of Outlaws are sharing this weekend for 2 days. I think it's kind of odd. Isn't that odd?
I don't know. It just depends. If it's I've ran 2-day shows before at one track. I don't have a problem with it. If it's a different track, personally, I don't like them being. If it were me, I don't want it. That's fine, but I just don't want it too far away. Like this weekend, we're running Florence one night and 30 minutes down the road, and Dillon the next night. So, yeah, that's great. Now, the problem is like, who was it the other week? Oh God. Well, especially the dirt guys, they go from track to track, and when they get done, there's a lot of maintenance that has to be done on a dirt car. We know that. All race cars, there's a lot of maintenance, but dirt car especially, there's a lot of maintenance that has to be done just because
washing
and just because you beat them up so much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, Fager, Jason Fager, that's who it was. They show up, Hill Tour race, and I can't even remember where it was.
Tri-City.
Yeah, Tri-City. That's right.
A driver's family.
Family owns it. Yes.
Yeah. That was a pretty good battle they had, by the way. But go ahead.
It was, and now they ended up getting rained out that night. But it doesn't matter when you know you got a tour like that coming in like that. When you know it's a 3-day event or like 3 days back to back, people are racing. They got to have somewhere and some time to work on the car. They got to. So they need to, and they probably. I think they said that was 3 hours down the road from where they raced the night before.
Yeah.
So they drive overnight. Man, why not be there or have somebody there to open the gates up for them? I get they're like, oh, well, they might not pay their pit passes. Okay, well, if you're worried about that, go ahead and have somebody at the gate that day say, hey, we're going to open the gate from this time to this time. If you want to get in, that way you can work on your car, you can get in and pay your pit pass then. Or there's many track like many days. And I'm gonna tell you, most of these drivers are pretty honest. I ain't saying there's not some people out there that aren't, but that's like Dillon Motor Speedway. Every week, I'm there before the gates open. We go park, get the car out and everything, and by the time the gates open, I walk back up, and pay for my pit passes. Most people, and somebody rides around the pit and say, hey, booth's open. Okay.
Yeah. Let me see our man.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's my biggest thing on a multi-track event. Single track is fine because you're already there.
I got one better than that, Dave. I got one better than that. Am I allowed to say the racetrack?
Sure.
I can say the racetrack?
Sure.
All right. You remember when Lucas Oil had that triple? What was that? Back in March, April? What was that?
Yeah.
There was a Georgetown and Hagerstown, and what was the other stop at? Georgetown.
I don't remember, but I do remember the weekend you're talking about.
I was at Talladega for the World of Outlaw race that weekend. I can't remember. Anyway, the third race.
That wasn't Williams Grove, was it?
Port.
Yep.
Port.
Yep.
Very good. Port. But I want you to know that Hagerstown Speedway, hot laps were at 5. Because it was the last race of the whole weekend. Hagerstown that Sunday. Hot laps were at 5 that Sunday. Do you know what time they opened the gates up?
Oh, if they were at 5, they probably didn't open till 3. Don't make sense, does it?
Can't figure it out, bro.
You know what I would do? If it were me and I had to work on the car, if I pulled it in that driveway, guess where we unloading that?
Right there in the doggone front, wherever you waiting in line at, right there.
You want me to come race at your track? I got to work on the car. We're on the road for 3 days.
I'm unloading right here.
I don't have a shop. This is my shop. So if you're not going to let me in, I'm going to work on it right here.
That's right. Hey, Overton, back up. I got to load the car. I got to load it right now. Back up.
That's right.
Yeah, agreed. But I thought that was kind of, I ain't going to say petty, but that's just,
It don't make no sense.
No, it don't. None. No sense whatsoever.
Especially a Saturday race. I understand. Now, like Tri-City, well, I understand that that was a race in the middle of the week, and people are working. A lot of track owners, a lot of track personnel, they have other jobs. But man, when you know something like a tour like that's coming through, you got to figure out something to make work.
Got to.
But if it's on a Saturday, there ain't no excuse.
I remember back, I think a Spoon. Well, it was Spoon Hell Tour a couple weeks ago. I think it was the first week. Spoon. They were going somewhere the next night, and right before the right when the Super Late Models ended, Chris Stapp came on there and said, I forgot where they were going. Just letting y'all know, guys, the gates will be open when you get there if you want to leave tonight. So I thought more tracks should do that. Hello.
Definitely should. I mean, I know, like I said, it's hard to do. I get it, because we all know track staff isn't making no mega bucks out there. We all know that.
We all know that. Yes, we do. We all know that. But you gotta look out for these guys.
Yeah, you got to figure it out.
These are what we came to see.
You got to figure it out. I don't care if you are the track owner. If you're a track owner and you're the only one that can be at the gate, well, go be at the gate.
There you go.
That's just how it's got to be. So, anyway, what else we got tonight?
Got one more for you. Speaking of which, I had this written down too. Who's had the worst luck with rain in the last couple of years? Tri-City or Sonoya?
Yeah.
They can't get
Tri-City. Sonoya, they get races in somehow. They get races in. Yeah, it gets rained on a lot, but they get races in. Tri-City somehow gets rained out.
Unbelievable. Yeah. That's just bad
luck.
Dude,
this past weekend, like everything I looked at, it was just like rain.
Right. Deer Creek, the finale I was looking forward to Saturday, of course, got rained out.
Yep.
Shame. Gosh, what a track. What a race that was, man. I was watching more of the Outlaws than I was Lucas. Because I knew Muskie and I knew Atomic. You know, they're both good racetracks, but they're not Deer Creek. I'm sorry. They're not Deer Creek. Deer Creek is the bigger Fairbury, you know,
Well,
and I'm all in with Fairbury. Give me that black dirt, buddy. That's all I can say.
Oh yeah. Well, we kind of skipped over it earlier. How about the big pile up?
Okay.
What was your thoughts? I heard people placing blame on this one, that one, the other one, and I'm just like, man, it looked like a racing accident to me.
That's what it looked like to me. That's what it looked like to me. Could Brooding? It seemed to me when Brooding came off the gas, that's when the car got loose.
Yeah.
If he stayed in the gas, would he have still spun out?
I don't think so, but that's hard to know.
Now, unless you're behind the wheel of one.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, because a dirt late model, for a lot of people who don't know, they work a little bit backwards than a lot of what people think.
Yeah.
Well, when you're on the gas, it's digging. You get off that gas, all of a sudden it slides everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So, but it's hard to tell your brain sometimes to stay in the gas.
Especially when a guy cuts you off like that, or
Yeah. I mean, but it just looked like a big old pack of racing, and just to me, I don't know. I mean,
that's what I'm thinking. I think it was just a racing doggone. Yeah, I never heard anybody say anything. Well, you better watch with that doggone Hoffman tonight, man. He can't drive. I ain't never heard anybody talk anything bad about Nick Hoffman. I'm sorry. He's nobody. Nick Hoffman has more respect in that pit area than anybody that I know of.
That dude's probably got better car control. In all honesty, he's probably got better car control than anybody out there. The way he could wheel a modified, the way he could, if you can wheel something with that much horsepower on an 8-inch tire, that dude's probably got better car control than anybody out there. Racing stuff happens. I mean, that's just, that's what I don't get. These fans, man, I don't.
They're not fans, Dave. They're all keyboard warriors. They're all sit-at-home car owners. They're all sit-at-home crew guys.
But what is the deal of everybody's got to blame somebody nowadays? I don't get that. Like, man, why can't you say, hey, they were racing hard and, man, just it happened, you know, whatever. No, nobody can say that anymore. Everybody's got to place blame on somebody. I mean, racing accidents happen. I promise you, it is not a Sunday drive out there. Every time we go in a corner with a race car, it may look like we are completely in control on asphalt. It may look like it, but guess what? Every corner I go in,
on the edge,
I'm hoping it's sticking.
On the edge. Yep. What? See, I love talking to you, man, because you're a driver. You know what it's like, man. I'd rather talk to you. You know, that's why I marry you, man, because you know actually give me the driver's aspect of it, man.
It's something else, and to see these keyboard warriors sometime, man, it's funny. It's funny. It's like I look at someone, I'm like, you have no clue what you're talking about.
Where's your car at? That's what I always say. Oh yeah, well damn, well get your car out there and show me how you do it.
Yeah,
that's what that's why I see a lot of times, Dave.
Yeah, exactly.
Take the car cover off, wipe the dust off of. Let me see what you got.
Right. They got a Matchbox. That's what they got.
Yeah, Hot Wheels.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of, I gotta get some dirt stuff. I do have to get some dirt stuff. I ain't gonna lie. I got to get some dirt diecast, but dirt diecasts are so expensive now, man. They're ridiculous.
You know what guy, bro? I know a guy.
You know a guy?
He's got a curio cabinet, man. I bet you if he ain't got 50 in that thing, and I'm like, my God. And you know, the thing about diecast, Dave, yes, okay, I have over 500 race shirts. I get it.
Yeah.
I do. It's an addiction. But at least I can show mine off. You can't wear a diecast, Dave. I can wear my Corvette shirt.
No, this is the only place I can ever show diecast off. And I got 3 new ones this week. And I say new.
Yeah. What you got?
I say new, but they're not new at all. I don't know if you ever looked at, and you can find some old NASCAR stuff if you ever want to look for some old NASCAR stuff. Plan B sales or Plan B auctions. Noah Gragson Dover Wing car autographed.
Wow, autograph. Wow, okay.
Got it for $9.
Wait a minute, what?
Yes, got it for $9.
David, they can break it up on me, bro.
Auction. Nobody bid it on it. I jumped in,
Wow.
got it for $9.
Wow. Somebody probably right there give you over $100 for it. But
Nah, I'm telling you, I will. I'm entertaining offers. Far end down there, 38 M&M's car. Elliott Sadler
huh?
got it pretty cheap too. I don't remember. I think maybe $15-20 somewhere in there.
Wow. Okay.
Then I got a number 5, Kyle Busch. When he was in
Busch
Hendrick.
car? Red National
Nope.
car?
That is Cup car.
Cup car.
That was right before they went to the COT.
Okay.
So,
05, 06.
No, it'd have been before that.
Oh, before that?
Yeah, it would have been before that because
COT. I thought
was.
COT 07. Was it 07?
It could have been. You could be right. You could be right.
05?
You could be
Okay, that's
right.
what I call
You
it.
could be
Came
right.
out 05. Okay.
So yeah, got it. I think about the same amount, about $15-20.
How much you pay for the Earnhardt car?
What's that?
How much you pay for the Earnhardt car?
That one?
Yeah.
I don't know. That one's actually not mine. That
Oh,
one's,
really?
Yeah, that one's Sterling's. That
Wow.
one's Sterling's. I think most of these actually are Sterling. Well, I say that. Not the ones up here. There's a good bit over here. Sterling was, he just had them in storage, and he was like, dude, put them on there. That'd be a good place for them. Now, what I will say, not this, brand new one. This one was not on the auction. My wife probably would not like me to say how much I paid for them.
Shh.
Yeah.
Amazon, $20.
Yeah, exactly. Those are new ones. And I'm going to tell you, the detail work, I'm not saying it's bad because we did get a late model. We did get an asphalt late model, new asphalt late model, which is cool. I like that. It's cool. But, man, they went up in price.
But somebody, buddy of mine, he bought the Bobby Pierce throwback wrap
Yeah.
jacket. $200.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Can you make, bro?
Now,
Come on, man.
Mine was still just 2 digits. These were still just 2 digits. They weren't. So that's what I'm saying. The dirt die caster so high,
I can't do it, bro.
and they need a new. And in my opinion, they need a new one because it don't look like the cars are racing now. Most of them don't. They look more like a early 2000s dirt late model.
Yeah.
Very, very symmetrical looking. Which
Yep,
is
right.
which is good, but that's not what they look like anymore.
I like the ones that got, the dirt actually on the car, like it's been
Customized
raced,
ones. Yeah.
donut on it or something.
But that's how this Noah Gragson car is right there. It's a raced version.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
You said it was Dover?
Yeah. Dover.
Cool.
I can't remember what year. I'd have to look at the box. Couldn't be in but a couple years. It was Junior Motorsport, so.
How about the Richard Petty car right there?
That is Connor's actually, and that is a raced version of, I want to say the 200th win.
Hey, hold on. Get out of here.
Yeah, it's got a donut on the side there. and
Get
everything.
out of here.
Yeah.
Wow. 84, huh? Yeah, that's worth some money too right there. Yeah, that's worth some big bucks right there, buddy.
Oh god, everything's falling. But anyway, we digress. All right. Well, you got anything else, sir?
Just what's coming up this weekend, if you care. I don't know if
What you
care.
got this weekend? What you got this weekend?
Well, we got my birthday's Saturday, by the way. So if we throw, gonna give me a gift now, whatever. Or give me the same thing you gave me last year. It'll be all right. We
happy
got.
birthday,
This is
sir.
interesting.
How-
Okay, so Hagerstown and Winchester Speedway, right?
Oh.
They're racing Saturday and Sunday. If you see this week, you talking about earlier, that's why I wrote this down because you talking about this earlier. If you win both races, Dave, you get a $2,500 bonus.
Oh wow, I like that.
Like that. So if you win, let's say both races and plus the bonus, you can end up with $15,500.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
nice,
pretty cool.
I like it.
So we got that coming up. We got Hagerstown Saturday, Winchester Sunday, which might be streamed on Flow. Not 100% sure on that.
Gotcha.
We got World of Outlaws 2-day show at Shern. Ask Caleb, he's gonna go to that. Dave, the Southern Nationals kicked off this weekend, buddy.
Nice.
Beckley Friday with Saturday. Forgot
Are we
where
gonna
Sunday
get
is. Write this down.
Are we gonna get a Tyler Carpenter at Beckley?
Oh, I'm pretty sure you would. Oh, you know who I miss at Beckley?
Who's that?
Remember that? Chase Jenkins?
Oh
Remember
yeah.
that?
Oh yeah.
David, I laughed so hard at that race, man. Here comes, I love the way you said it too, Chase Jenkins.
Jenkins.
Oh my God, that was one of the funniest things I ever heard. Oh, Dave, I laughed the whole time. That was awesome. But yeah, we might get a Tyler Carpenter at Beckley.
I can see
Oh,
that.
we got Lucas. Dave,
Yo,
do you know where Lucas Oil is racing this weekend? I'm gonna blow your mind.
where they racing?
They're going back to Lucas Oil Speedway.
Weren't they just there?
Hello.
I guess
Hello.
when you name the series, you can go wherever you want.
I think the place is getting too watered down there. It's not a great. I don't know. No, don't get me started.
What would make that track better? In your opinion, what would make it better?
Oh no. How would you make it? How would you? I would make it like Charlotte. It's same distance. Just wide the turns out and bank it more.
I think they give it some more banking.
Yeah, we give some more banking.
I think if you would just give it a little more banking, I think it would help. But I think banking can kill some tracks too.
Give me one. What's it kill?
I ain't saying it's killed it, but let's just look at oh god, is it Tazewell that's banked so much?
Okay, yeah, okay, okay, yeah, the whole track's a bowl.
It is, and it's not. That track's awesome because it is banked so much and it's so fast. But if you really look at the racing, there's not a lot of passing there.
You're right, Dave. Dave. You are. It's bland. It's man.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool to watch because the cars are so fast, and I mean, but there's just not a lot of passing there. So there's a certain amount of banking that's okay, but then you get past this point. But we say that, and let's look at, let's say Fairbury. Flat as I don't know what, and puts on probably the best racing we can watch. But I think the reason is because it's flat, but it's also small.
And it's the black dirt too.
Yeah,
Dave.
black dirt too. But I feel like if you go, well, let's look at Fayetteville now. Fayetteville stunk. I mean, for many, many years. I mean, let's just say it. A lot of people liked it. Our buddy Willie Milliken really liked the track when it was big, fast, but there was never any passing there. Now, short bull ring style racing, not as small as Fairbury, but man, they pass like crazy there now. And that's what I'm saying. So if you're going to have flat, you got to have small. Obviously, you know, to me, I guess Eldora, if you got to have a big track and the banking, you know, is about right. You still can pass there. There's not a ton of passing even in Eldora. I mean, but that's just a big track in general now. And we've talked about this, and you're not going to like it. I hate to tell everybody, but aerodynamics come in so much play at these big tracks now. That's why there's no passing. It's not because of the track. Everybody wants to blame the tracks. It's not the track. It's the cars. I promise you.
I loved how you fixed the droop rule in one show. That was awesome. Thank you very much. That was great.
Nobody ever agree with it.
Oh, wait till tomorrow night. Tune in. That's on Twitter, everybody. Ripping the Lip.
That is on Twitter, Ripping the Lip.
That's
Y'all
right.
check it out.
That's a DVR. Dave.
I think y'all need some cameras on there. Y'all need some faces on there.
I think we're gonna do something about that. I think
I think we need a YouTube show.
I think it's coming. I do. I think it's
deal.
coming.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Anybody need help with it, y'all let me know.
Dave, my man. Thank you, Dave. Appreciate that, boss. Yes. Yes. Thank you very much, Dave.
No,
And thank you for everything that you've done, man. Like your guest your gentleman had on earlier, man. Appreciate everything you do for racing, man. Appreciate you having me on every week. I text you every week, man. Hey, man, thanks for having me on, boss.
man, you part of the show now. You ain't got to thank me. We appreciate you.
Well, I appreciate you. I appreciate you appreciating me. How about that?
There we go.
All right.
All right. Well, with that said, I think we're going to jump off of here. We appreciate everybody hanging out with us as always. And appreciate our buddy Racing Jason, as always, coming on here, giving us all the news on the dirt this week because we didn't have any other racing around here. There was like no asphalt racing. Actually, the asphalt Tri-County did race, and they had a big race out there, and I think Landon Huffman won it.
Ooh.
So in the 75 High Rock vodka car.
Ooh. You know, I think he follows me on Twitter. I think he follows me.
Not Landon.
Yeah, I gotta look. I think he follows me. I gotta look that up.
I do have to comment real quick here. We had a comment. Our buddy Cecil Culver's Jr., his son Fireball races with us. Real young kid, I think. Fireball's, I could be wrong, but I think he's around 13. 13, 14. He said he's been told that race car drivers just drive a car by his football coaches. Yep. Like I said, go get in it. Show us you can do it.
That's right. That's right. There you go. I like that. Football coaches. Yeah. 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 When you got the water boys, starting to make play calls.
He's 14. Yeah, exactly. So, anyway. All right, guys. Well, we sure appreciate all y'all. Like I said, I will be out, and y'all head out for sure to Florence Motor Speedway this Friday night if you're here in the Florence area. So head out for the Sun Fun 101 Chargers and late model stock will be racing. Chargers run 35 laps. Late model stock 101 laps. Leading up to also fireworks, big fireworks show out there. Also leading up to and in collaboration with Dillon Motor Speedway racing on Saturday with the Charles Hutto Memorial that we had our buddy Jerry Smith on here talking about earlier, and as a full slate of racing there, many classes, and they will also have a big fireworks show. So fireworks on Friday and Saturday night here in the PD area. And where else is racing around here? We got what kind of dirt action we got going on around here, Jason? Nothing. Nowhere.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Oh, yeah. Dang.
Yeah. Hello.
All right, guys. Well, no, it is what it is. Come on down to Florence, or come on down to Dillon. Come hang out.
Thinking about it, man. I swear to God, bro. Let me see how tomorrow goes. Hey, thinking about it. Seriously, I get to see you and Boo Carlisle. Hey, man, you might have signed me up.
Our buddy Boo.
Yep, that might sign me up. I'll see.
Let
me see how the week.
Well, if you come, let me know.
I will.
Good deal. All right, brother. Well, we sure appreciate you, and we appreciate our buddy Kale Maben hanging out with us tonight.
Safe travels, Kale.
He should be about home now, so hope he got home safe. Anyway, appreciate all y'all, and we will see y'all next time. Alrighty there, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I reckon that's going to wrap us up here for tonight. Appreciate all y'all. And I guess we will see y'all at the track. Y'all have a good one. Talk to you next time.